going on, everybody? Welcome back to Jacked Up Fishing. Well, I got a good video for you guys today. We're doing more work on the Shoalwater, the 21 Shoalwater. And as you can see behind me, there's been some progress. Got the new rub rail on. I'm gonna show you how I did that rub rail. I'm also working on doing the bilge coat inside these hatches. If you look inside these hatches, this is 10 years of nasty, just dirt and grime getting in from shrimping, stuff like that. I'm gonna put some bilge coat in there. I'm gonna prep it, sand it, and get that all ready and install the hatches back on. It's gonna be some big progress. I'm excited. We're gonna be putting it back together, getting it back on the water. I'm getting it ready for sheep's head season coming up. And I'm pretty stoked to bring y'all with me. Well, I am done painting. I'm done gel coating. So now I get to start putting some jewelry on this bad boy. I got something in the box right here. And you know from the thumbnail already, it's the rub rail. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it. It's by Taco Metals, who makes a lot of cool stuff for boats, rub rails, outriggers, lots and lots of stuff for boats. But this is a Taco rub rail. I'm getting ready to unbox it. We're gonna put it on. This is what it had originally, and I like the look of it. So let's get on with it. So here's the rub rail kit. I got it off eBay for a steal. I couldn't beat it. It was $130. I went on an auction, just kept my eye on it. There's deals out there on eBay that you can get, just gotta keep your eye on them. But $130, I think it was $40 shipping. I post a picture right here. But that's what I got it for. I'm stoked. Usually this is a $500–600 rub rail kit. And I'm hoping all the parts are in here. So we'll get on with it. I'm gonna unbox it, put it on the deck, see what we got. It's obviously been opened already. So I'm just gonna check it. I'm sure they just did it for the pictures, I'm hoping. But we're gonna find out right now. Everything looks brand new. This is the rub rail itself, the outside that holds everything. Let me pull this out. Oh yeah. So here, we've unboxed it all. This is actually the rub rail that bolts to the boat. This is the outside edge. Perfectly what I had before. It also has the rub rail insert. Makes it nice and cool, like smooth looking. And in their application, they got screws and they got some end caps, which I don't need the end caps. And I'm not sure I'm gonna use the screws, to be honest with you. I would like to through bolt it myself. The company that I bought the boat from, Shoalwater, they actually had it riveted on here, which is not a bad idea. So I might do a little combination of rivets as well as the bolts, just for added security. All right, let's get on with it. Let's get it on the boat. So right now, I'm by myself. I'm putting the screws in every other screw right now, just to hold it up, get it up to where I want, make sure everything's lining up good, and we have enough rub rail. Because sometimes you can stretch this a little bit, not too much, but you can give it a little stretch, a little tug. I'm gonna wrap it all the way around the boat, and then on the other holes, on the other ones, I'm doing every other hole, I'm gonna go ahead and do a rivet like they did when I came from the factory. So I'll have a rivet, screw, rivet, screw, rivet, screw, and looks pretty good so far. I can't wait to get it back on. It's going pretty fast. I've only been doing it about 20 minutes, so hopefully about an hour, I'll get it all on there. So as you can see, I have it all lined up all the way out. I'm just letting it lay out there and stretch out, get straight. I'll turn on some lights for you guys. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Letting it all hang out. It was coiled up in that box, so I want to make sure it lays nice and straight on the boat. Back to it. I don't like to have anything protruding back behind the boat rub rail here. When I pull the nets, they come up and they sometimes grab them little pieces hanging, screws, bolts, whatever you have, and it rips your nets. So I have a little backer back here, and that's when I'll use them screws, Taco supplied, and put them all the way around the front, because that's where we throw our nets from. I do throw them in the back every now and then when I'm throwing for 2 people or I'm driving. I just want to get a net out real quick, but I am aware of it, so I don't snag up on them screws. All right, so I'm gonna put these screws in here. They gave us a bunch of them, and we're gonna just start zapping them around. So we're just coming out of Hurricane Nicole. This is the Sunday following the Hurricane Nicole. It hit us on Thursday. It was a lot more flooding. I'm gonna show you right now. Here's my backyard. Well, Hurricane Nicole is upon us right now. Tide's all the way up. Let me show you what I got going on. So we got the Sea Hunter there. We got the water all the way up. The canal is all the way up. I got about another foot. Another foot coming up here. Maybe about another foot and a half. Yep. This tide needs to change. Boom, it was up. I didn't flood again. It was just a little higher than Ian was because it was coming from the East Coast. Our beaches, I'm sure everybody's seen our beaches on YouTube, took a huge hit. Lots of erosion. All my neighbors, again, flooded once again. But we actually made it through it. Everybody's safe, no injuries. Everybody's back to normal. I'm back out in the shop working on the boat, trying to get this thing done. I'm also dumping the big boat in. We had some lower unit issues with it, but let's get to work on this boat. So I just got the rub rail completely done. I slid the insert in. This is what the rub rail I got is. This is the part that I put in on the side of the boat, and then this is the insert that slides in there. See how it's kind of got its own little shape to it? So what it does is it just slides into the other one, and then it's kind of a pain. I actually had to use my thumbs and kind of lock it into place, but it came out pretty good. There's a couple little spots that I'm gonna fix all the way down the rail, but looks good, looks really good, looks really clean. The other one I had didn't really look as clean as this, but I got it all done. I'm really, really excited on how it came out. And now I'm just gonna hopefully start putting stuff back together, getting the hatches put on, gotta seal the hatches, screw them down, and hopefully we'll have that done by the end of the day or maybe tomorrow. All right, so like I said earlier, I'm gonna use the 220 grit sandpaper, DA. We're just gonna start sanding all these hatches. I got 5 of them to do throughout the whole boat. And then I'll show you the bilge coat I'm talking about. So like I've been preaching this whole project, anytime you lay any kind of paint, primer, gel coat, cleaning it in a boat environment with acetone first, getting everything, vacuuming it, cleaning it is critical because you need a good bond. So what I'm gonna do now, I've got it all sanded, and what I'm gonna do now is just pour some acetone in here. It makes it a little strong, so you don't wanna get your head in there. And you just wanna wipe it all down. Get all the dirt and grime off. Wipe it real good. All areas. And make sure you just clean it all up. It also gives it a nice sticky feeling for the new paint or bilge coat or gel coat, whatever you're using to bond to. I like to go over it a few times myself. And that's just a stain from the bottom from the water or the mats I had down there. It just stained the gel coat, no big deal. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna start getting everything ready. We're gonna do these first 2 hatches first, and then I'll work to the back. All right, so everything's cleaned out. We've wiped out everything, vacuumed everything out. Here's the product I'm using. It's made by Interlux. It's called BilgeKote. It's made for bilges and big boats. It only takes 2 to 3 light coats to cover. It leaves a nice sheen on there, and this is for my boat. It's gonna be perfect because my boat doesn't, these hatches are not perfectly sealed. So there's always like some moisture, there's always mold, mildew, and it looks unsightly at times. I try to keep up with it, but you know, as a boat, doesn't always happen. You go in there later on, you know, a few weeks. Of course, that's where I keep all my life jackets. Everything looks like crap in there. So this is gonna help me out where I can just wipe it real quick. Usually I'll use like a tub and shower cleaner with bleach, and I'll wipe it, leave it, and it leaves a bleachy residue so it doesn't create the mold or mildew in there. All right, so let's go. Like I said, it takes 2 to 3 coats. I'll leave a link in the description for the BilgeKote, and let's get going on it. So what I'm gonna use to roll this on, just a 4-inch cigar roller from Home Depot. I use these all the time. They're really easy. You pop off the brush, or the roller, pops right back on. The BilgeKote is a single stage. You pop the cap, you stir it really well, put it in the bucket, start applying. Pretty easy. Anybody can do it. All right, I'm gonna start popping everything open, getting it ready to go. All right, I got the top popped off. I'm just gonna make sure there's no solids. I actually feel some down the bottom. So we wanna make sure we stir all that up. See how it's got some solids at the bottom. Then we're probably something that helps it cure, something like that. So we wanna make sure that we mix this up thoroughly. Yeah, we wanna make sure we get all that off the bottom. Who knows how long it's been sitting on the shelf. So we wanna make sure we get all that ingredients that we need to make this thing work correctly. Stirred up and mixed thoroughly. So after about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I've been stirring. There's no more solids I can feel at the bottom. I'm just kind of rubbing my paint stick all around, make sure I don't feel nothing. It's got a good consistency. Now this stuff, a little bit goes a long way. Don't just pour a bunch. This is a fast drying paint that you put it on, dries pretty fast, you put another coat on. I mean, it sets up fast. So I'm just gonna use a little bit for these 2 hatches. That's probably all I'm gonna need right there. I'll put the paint stick back in there, and then we will get going. So I'm gonna put this in there so I don't make any messes pulling it back and forth in the tray. And I'm gonna start at the furthest point, all the nooks and crannies first. And you can see it goes on really well right here. I'll show you, it's a quick little, but it goes on. You just want a thin coat, nothing thick. Anytime you apply anything thick, it doesn't have as good of a bond, of course. And this first coat, you just kind of want to get all the areas really decent. Try to spread it around. All right, I'm gonna get to work on this. Alright, so there's the first coat on the hat on there just now. I just got it done. I'll have to do a second coat, of course. I'm gonna go to the other hatch, do that one, and then wait for it to kick off a little bit, do the next coat. First coat down. That's in them 2 hatches. I'm gonna let that kick off, and then I'll come back here in a little while. Recoat time, probably about an hour or so. I'm gonna give it about an hour, come back, recoat it. I think it's 15 minutes dry to the touch, and you can recoat, I think up to 20 or 24 hours or 36 hours, something like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and get it done. I'll wait about an hour, try to do some of the other hatches and get them all done. All right, well, it's been about an hour. I'm getting ready to do the second coat on these. I'm also gonna do the first coat, the back ones. I prepped them just now. It's been little while, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the first coat on them and then come back and do these real quick. Now this second coat, you don't need much, just a light coat. You're not covering, you're just doing a second coat to get a little more millage. But I'm just gonna keep doing it on this. I did the other ones, I did the first coat in the back. Now I'm gonna finish this one. And then we'll be done after I do the second coat on the back. All right, last coat's done. Look at that bad boy. What a difference, huh? Nice and smooth, looks good. And as you can see how shiny it is now? That's how it dries. It stays shiny, it's smooth, and you're able to wipe stuff off real easy. All right, I'm gonna start grabbing some hatches, start putting them on these two, start buttoning it up. So as you can see, I got the rub rail on, I got the hatches in, I got the console all cleaned out. Looks good, everything's de-rigged. Completely de-rigged, it's buffed out, looks awesome. So now I get to come to the fun part, and that's rigging all this up right here on the front deck. I got everything right here to go in, wiring, plumbing, switches, hatches, you name it. Controls, steering wheel, helm, it's all gonna be in the next video. I'm gonna rig this console up and do it boss. Well, that's all I got for you on this video. It came out nice, the paint, the rub rail, gel coat, came out boss. Tune in for the next one. Hopefully I'll start getting a lot of this done. I need to get back on the water. Be jacked up working. All right, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Jacked Up out.